Hello class, and welcome to Event Evangelism. This is going to be an amazing class. I'm very much looking forward to it as we have the opportunity to learn about some methods and ways to plan and prepare an evangelistic event, as well as some of the philosophy behind why do we have an evangelistic event and what do our primary goals need to be in these. So I'm so much looking forward to this class. My name is Malachi England and I am the professor for this class. A little bit about me. I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska, and recently moved down to California, actually within the last year, to take a faculty position here at West Coast Baptist College. The favorite things to do with my free time include basically anything that has to do with the outdoors and reading. My outdoor sports include backpacking, hiking, bicycling, ridge running, and climbing, whether that's climbing up a mountain, whether that's climbing rock or climbing ice. Particularly, I enjoy climbing ice, whether that's waterfall ice in the winter or glacier ice in the summer. That's just something that I really find exhilarating, and I love to spend time out in God's nature. You guys are going to have an opportunity this week through a discussion forum to post a little bit about yourself so that we can get to know who else is in this class. Now we're going to start today by going over the syllabus. You guys should be able to find the syllabus here on Canvas. If you're new to Canvas, on the right side of your screen, you should have a list of some different options. You should have home, you should have files, you should have modules, you should have assignments, you should have grades, a list of some different options there on the left side of your screen, actually, on the left side of your screen. So if you look over to that side of your screen, and you go to the Files tab or to the Modules tab and open up the syllabus, that's what we're going to be going over. You can either open it up and listen as I talk, or you can just look at that afterwards as we work through here. First off, the course description for Event Evangelism. The course description is as follows. This course is designed to show students organizational skills and ways to evangelize their community through corporate church efforts, in addition to door-to-door and formal church services. Students will experience many creative ways to reach their world with the gospel through the church. This is the goal, this is the objective of the course. Now, what are some specific objectives that you as a student should expect by the end of this course? The student who successfully completes this course will be able to organize evangelistic endeavors by learning delegation principles, promotional methods, and motivational skills. He'll be able to identify the needs, abilities, and strengths and advantages of an area of ministry to know how to use them for events. He'll be able to communicate the gospel through various creative means. He will be able to plan, coordinate, and execute gospel-centric events. He'll be able to learn people's spiritual gifts and place people in areas where they will be the most effective. And he will be able to pass a comprehensive exam with a score of at least 85. So some exciting objectives that you can look forward to. Okay, as I'm taking this class, what am I going to come out at the end of this class and have learned? Well, hopefully, and Lord willing, what you come out at the end of the class having learned was these 6 course objectives that we've detailed here. That's what you should be able to do by the end of this class as we perform some education on how to do and why to do event evangelism. Our institutional learning outcomes as a college are as follows. Demonstrate comprehension in major areas of Bible knowledge and doctrine, apply knowledge in practical and relevant ways to their chosen field, effectively communicate the gospel to unbelievers, regularly practice spiritual, authentic disciplines, effectively serve in ministry through the local church, and engage in service to the community. The specific objectives for the Bible department are these 4. Demonstrate an accurate knowledge of the Bible. Utilize significant interpretive data regarding historical, geographical, cultural, theological background, and themes of the Scriptures. Articulate the historic Baptist faith and distinctives, and communicate God's truth lovingly and effectively to believers and unbelievers. These are some of the broad goals of our major of the Bible department that this class is helping to meet. Now, down to the part you really want to know about, what do I need to do to succeed in this event evangelism class? Well, under heading 3 here, course requirements, we're going to go over this, so pay close attention. First, you're going to have an evangelizing your community survey. This is going to be your first project It's pretty basic, but it's pretty important. In this project, basically, you're going to be looking at your community, and you're going to take a survey of what is my community like, and what can we be doing to evangelize it. This project should be 2 to 4 pages in length, and can be primarily bullet points if desired. Do not forget the title page or the table of contents. In this, you want to list some of the following information, or all of the following information. The populace of an area within 10 to 20 miles, the age dynamics, the community comprised of what kind of groups, military, singles, family, retired, ethnicities, unemployed, kind of identify who's living in the community. What is the most popular foods in your area? Can you prepare it at church? What do people want to eat? How large is your church? What property resources do you have as a church at your home church? What do you have in your area that people enjoy? What needs can be done in your area, or what needs need to be met in your area of the community? Who do you have in your church, and what do they own that may be used as a resource to reach others? Where and what do people in your area go to do? And then finally, list 10 love works projects your church could do to be a blessing to the community. Now, what's a love works project? A love works project is something that your church can do as an outreach to the community, and it's not necessarily something that's gospel-centric, but it's something that can show the community that you care for them. Something that I was a part of in college was mowing people's lawns. We'd go out on Saturday and we would mow a bunch of people's lawns for free. We wouldn't accept anything back. And that was a Love Works project we did as a group of college students. Next, you have a book critique. You will read Out of Commission by Dr. Paul Chappell. Now, this is a copy of the book, Out of Commission. You can have this digitally or hard copy. And this is the textbook for your class, Out of Commission by Dr. Paul Chappell. You will then perform a book critique. A book critique is an academic assessment of a book and should include at a minimum a detailed examination of the strengths and weaknesses of the book, as well as a brief introduction to the author, a quick summary of the contents, and a title page. Good book critiques are usually between 2 and 4 pages. You will then, and there's more information about this in your modules as you get closer. There's more resources under the tab that's specifically for this book critique. You'll have an evangelistic event planner. And this is the primary project for this class. This project is basically you planning an evangelistic event, going through all the steps except for actually carrying it out, which you're more than welcome to do, and it's encouraged, but we're not requiring it for the online version of this class. Submit an evangelistic event planner and include the following information: a title page, a table of contents, event details and goals. For example, name the theme and type of event, number that you would aim for, who are you trying to reach, and the preacher and speaker who's going to be there. You have to have the location and logistics of the event. The location of the event, you need to have the specific name. You need to have the building or room. What part of this venue are you going to be using? This should be an event that actually works. Don't just come up with a hypothetical possibility of an event. No, this event should be one that if you handed it to your pastor, it could actually be put into execution, including the budget. I know when I was in college, I was given a task like this for a missions trip. And I planned out the missions trip, and it wasn't required that it had to work. But I was like, well, I might as well make it work, right? That's going to be the most realistic. And I planned it out, got real numbers, got real flights, and I actually sent it to my parents to have it proofread when I was in college. And my dad's a pastor, and they proofread it. And he talked to me. He said, hey, does this missions trip work? Are these real numbers? And I said, yes, sir, it's real numbers. And he was like, great. And he presented it to my home church back in Alaska, and my home church went on that missions trip. So don't be afraid to plan this as realistically as possible, as you might have an opportunity to use it. And even if you don't, that's the goal of this, to realistically plan an event. Do a table, seating chart, or floor plan. Include specific number of tables and chairs you will need depending on the event. That might be different. Create a diagram showing the layout of the event space. If you are unable to do it on the computer, you may neatly draw it on a piece of printed paper and then take a photo and upload that into your project. You have to have your budget and supplies. You need to have the budget, you need to have a list of supplies and equipment. This must be specific and utilize real numbers. The budget should actually work. Promotions. Examples of promotional material that you'll be using, and then the promotional ideas and outreach plans. You need to come up with what are we going to hand them, what's the design on it, and then how are we going to get this to them. You need to have community and preparation timeline, the preparation timeline of how this is all is going to go, and then committee and responsibilities, basically the job descriptions of those who are helping you with this. You need to have the program and menu. Once they show up, the day of the event, what's the timeline, what activities are going to happen, and what menu is going to happen, if applicable. And then you need to have a follow-up plan. After the event, you need to have an example of a decision or connection card, ideas, and a plan for or an outline for the follow-up. So basically, after the event, how are you going to connect with these people again, get them back to church, continue that process of witnessing to them and bringing them to the saving knowledge of the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You will need to place your information in chronological order. Example, preparing for the event, executing the event, concluding the event, cleanup, follow-up, etc. Pretend you are coordinating a real event. This planner should reflect a collection of organized sections with tasks that would carry out in order to have the complete success at your event. Ask yourself this question: what details would you need to include at all about all the above categories? This project should be around 8 to 10 pages in length and can be formatted in bullet points if desired. So make sure it's not less than 8 pages there. It's going to be about what you need, since you have to have a few images in there as well of your connection card or whatnot. This shouldn't be hard in bulleted form, but it needs to be researched. Discussion boards. There will be one content-based discussion board each week. Your initial post should be a minimum of 200 words. You must also reply to at least 2 other students with a minimum post of 50 words. In a discussion post response, please try to compliment, critique, and ask a question each time. So in every response you give them a compliment, give them a critique, and give them another compliment. And then if someone asks you, or compliment, critique, compliment, kind of sandwich that critique. And then if you can, ask a question. And if you're asked a question, make sure you're responding to that. Project requirements. Basically, the following section under project requirements is saying, hey, you need to follow Turabian formatting. All projects must be submitted on Canvas. No emailed projects will be accepted. No late projects will be accepted. Font must be Times New Roman, 12 point. Papers should be double spaced unless otherwise indicated. Margins are 1 inch on all sides of the page. Quotations need to be properly cited, and I've included a website there that has proper Turabian formatting. You need to have a proper title page, and there's an example on the last page of your syllabus of a proper title page, so please utilize that, as this is an exact replica, except for the 6 lines down and the underlined comments. This is an exact replica of what you should be turning in. And papers will be graded for content, formatting, and grammar. So make sure you check these prior to turning them in, as you are getting a grade on these, and this is a big part of your grade. Course grading factors. Your evangelistic event planning project is 30% of your total grade. The discussion posts are 21% of your total grade. The book critique is 9% of your total grade. The survey project is 10%. The final exam is 20%, and the midterm is 10%. Spiritual and academic behavior. Classroom integrity, that's not as big of a part here for online. Basically, it's saying be nice, don't be a mean person to the rest of the people in the class. Academic honesty. Hey guys, I know this is an online class, and it is really easy to cheat. Now, we do have tracking systems on Canvas. I can see if you open another tab in the middle of a quiz. Okay, I'll be able to see that, or in the middle of a final exam or midterm, because we don't have quizzes. I'll be able to see if you're switching between tabs. We can see that. But it is difficult to see if someone's cheating. As a whole, we rely on you guys to know that you're not going to cheat. The midterm and final in this class are not going to be super difficult. And we only have 2 tests here, the midterm and the final. So be honest with those. Those are closed book. You can't have your notes open. You can't have other tabs open. Just have that midterm, just have that final open, and take it as you know the Lord would have you to take it. Okay, so we're relying on you to be honest in your academics. Plagiarism. Plagiarism is something else that we can come across. Hey, if your paper is a bunch of quotations, it's not going to be good. Or if your paper is someone else's work, we're going to see that. That one is pretty easy to spot. So don't use someone else's work. Don't take a direct quote off of some website. Make sure you're using your own work, your own words. If you do use someone else's work, make sure you cite it, put it in quotation marks, put a citation there. And if your paper has more than 25% of quotations, it's technically plagiarized, so make sure you're using your own content. Contact information. I'm looking forward to you guys being a part of this class, and I want you guys to feel free to contact me if you have any questions, any concerns, if there's something that comes up and, man, I just really didn't understand this part of a lecture, or, hey, I'm trying to do this project and I don't understand LoveWorks projects, for example, or I don't understand how would I find information for my budget on how much it's going to be to rent a tent. Some information like that. Feel free to contact me. I've listed my work phone number, my individual cell phone number, as well as my email down at the bottom of the syllabus, one of the last parts there. So feel free to contact me at any point. Hey guys, I'm really looking forward to being a part of this class with you and to leading us through a study of event evangelism. I hope you guys have an amazing first week of classes, and I will be praying for each of you. God bless.